Over the weekend, E.J. Perry raised his draft stock after a phenomenal performance in the Shrine Bowl. If Perry gets drafted in April, he will be the first player out of Brown to do so in more than 10 years. If he throws a pass in the NFL, he will become the first ever Brown player to do so. E.J. Perry is originally from Andover, Massachusetts, and attended Andover High School. While at Andover, Perry was a 4-year starter playing for his father. He finished as a 2-time Herald All-Scholastic and 3-time MVC All-Star. E.J. had a historic senior year, tying the single-season state record with 47 touchdowns. During a playoff game against Lexington, Perry threw for 5 touchdowns and rushed for 3 more. During his final high school game, he threw for 7 touchdowns in a 49-20 win over North Andover. He finished the year throwing for 3,398 yards and rushed for 1,006 yards and 12 touchdowns on the ground. Finished the year being named Boston Globe Division I Player of the Year. He finished his high school career second in state history for yards and touchdowns, throwing for 8,712 yards and 114 career touchdowns. Coming out of high school, according to 24/7 Sports Composite, E.J. Perry was a 2-star recruit who was the 9th best player in Massachusetts, 89th best pro-style quarterback, and 2,268th best player in the class of 2017. He received over 12 different Division I offers from the FBS and FCS level, including Boston College, Brown, Lehigh, UMass, and Ohio. In April of his junior year, Perry committed to Boston College, telling the Boston Herald, "I sat down with my father and I was being recruited by Boston College, Wake Forest, Iowa, and Wisconsin, and a number of other schools. But I had basically said to him, if Boston College offers, I want to go there because it was close to home in my dream school. They offered and I committed on the spot." When E.J. Perry got to Boston College, the quarterback position was in flux, and he adapted to Coach Steve Adazio's 12-personnel power run scheme. He had enrolled early at Boston College and participated in spring practice. While at Boston College, he climbed as high as second string on the depth chart, making his debut against UConn at Fenway Park on November 18, 2017. In 2018, Perry played in 5 games, completing 69.2% of his passes for 277 yards and 2 touchdowns. With 2 years of eligibility left and Anthony Brown entrenched as the starting quarterback, E.J. decided it was time to transfer. Perry told the Boston Herald, "I loved the system and we had a tremendous amount of talent and I loved playing with those guys. But it really came down to being in the same year as Anthony Brown and I wanted the opportunity to play." E.J. decided to transfer to Brown University where he would play for his uncle, James Perry. He earned the starting job that year and led the nation in total offense with 367.8 yards per game. He finished the year throwing for 2,948 yards, 22 touchdowns, and 13 interceptions. He set an Ivy League record for total offense with 3,678 total yards, was named first-team All-Ivy, and was a finalist for the Asa Bushnell Cup as an Ivy League Player of the Year. He also became the 3rd player in Brown history to lead the team in both rushing and passing. Perry got an inkling there could be football after Brown, but his agenda got derailed when the Ivy League shut down in 2020 due to the global pandemic. Perry told the Boston Herald, "Right after my season in 2019, I had agents reaching out and there were preliminary introductions and talking about the process and explaining it to me. Unfortunately, the Ivy League would cancel the 2020 season due to the ongoing events of 2020, so EJ went back to focusing on his upcoming 2021 season." Perry explained to the Boston Herald, "Obviously our season got canceled, so I just went back to training for my future season, which was 2021. The July before my final season, I just told all the agents that I was going to focus on the season, and my dad really handled the process from there." During Perry's senior year, he completed 66.5% of his passes for 3,034 yards, 23 touchdowns, and 14 interceptions, while also rushing for 7 touchdowns on the ground. Perry was invited to the Senior Bowl and the Hula Bowl, but elected to play in the Shrine Bowl in Las Vegas. He would have a great week in Sin City, impressing during the 5 days of practice. Not only was he invited to the NFL Combine, but was also named the East Squad Practice Player of the Week. Even before the game, he had risen his draft stock. He would raise his draft stock even more, throwing for 241 yards and 3 touchdowns, leading the East team back from a 19-0 and 25-8 point deficit, with the East Squad just falling 1 point short. He would be named the offensive MVP and told the media after the game, "It really was a lot of fun. It wasn't easy to start, we had a little trouble moving the ball, but I've learned a lot about being patient, that there are a lot of possessions, and then things started going our way. The goal is to come here, learn from the NFL coaches, learn from other talented players, and get better." Honestly, that was the goal, and from the standpoint, it was a huge success. It was amazing. One scout compared Perry to Taylor Heineke because of his magic-like qualities. The scout went on to tell Draft Network, "He's fun to watch. I could see some NFL coaches falling in love with the way EJ plays the game, and taking a shot on him in the mid to late rounds. The one concern around Perry is his touchdown to interception ratio in college. He's a developmental quarterback that could be a future star one day. What do you think? Where will EJ Perry be drafted? Let me know in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, maybe check out my videos on fellow draft prospects Malik Willis and Kenny Pickett right here. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel, and as always, remember to embrace the grind.